Hi, I'm Eric Alley. I'm the Western Regional Manager with Johns Manville for Performance Materials. And today I'm going to show you how to fabricate ductboard in 5 easy steps. I've got a set of Glassmaster tools here, but I use a lot of Amcraft tools as well. I've got an Amcraft square actually. I've got an offset square that I use a lot. Obviously you want to use the correct tape. There's several tape manufacturers. It's important that you use an AP foil tape, UL 181 AP, which means that it's suitable for using with ductboard. I have a handy squeegee here that you want to put that ductboard tape on with. I've got a stapler. This stapler shoots 9/16 outward clinching staples. We want to put those on about every 2 inches on center on the staple flap. I also have some manuals here. This is the NEMA guide. You want to have one of these in your shop. You can get these from NEMA.gov, I believe, or NEMA.org. Also, Johns Manville, we have these handy pocket installers which has a lot of the same information, so these are very handy as well. I've got a hole cutter. This works great when you're attaching flex duct to a ductboard plenum or a ductboard train. And then of course I have a straight edge. It's a nice steel straight edge that works really well for cutting nice straight cuts. So that's pretty much the tools that you need to properly cut ductboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of 10 by 8 duct. Obviously that's the first thing we're going to do when we get ready to cut a piece of ductboard. You'll notice this square from Amcraft has got measurements along the side here. It's set up to work perfectly with the tools, with the shiplap tools. And so really if you can count to 4 or 5, you should be able to cut ductboard. We talked about counting from 1 to 5. These Glassmaster tools are all marked from 1 to 5. The 2 and the 4 cut is actually the same cut, so it's the same tool. All these tools only cut one way, so if you're pushing on it and it's not working, the number should be facing you, so it's pretty easy to determine which way they should go. There is one tool that will cut forwards and backwards. That is the number 1 tool. But the very first cut we're going to make, we're going to use the number 1 tool, and we're going to put an edge on this very far left side of the duct. It comes off pretty easy. You know, the handy square has already got pre-measured, it's got a tape on it, so it's easy to measure. We're going to make 10 by 8 duct. So we're going to just line up, we're going to go from the cut edge 10 inches over. We're going to grab our number 2 tool. Again, going to make sure that I can read the numbers. They're not upside down when I'm looking at them. It'll only push through one way. If we try to push the other way, it's not going to work. I want to push that all the way through. If you're cutting good ductboard, it should cut through pretty nice. Occasionally you'll hit a hard spot, a binder spot. You just got to kind of push right on through. Okay, so we're going to cut 8-inch duct, so I'm going to put this on the 10-inch panels here. This will be the 8-inch panel. So we're going to line this up with the 8-inch mark. And I'm going to grab my number 3 tool. Again, I want to make sure that I can read the number 3. We're going back to 10. Want to make sure that we're keeping the square square with the bottom of the board. So we got a nice straight cut here. Using the number 4 cut, so this is the 2-4 tool. Back to the 8-inch cut. And this is our 5 tool. And this is going to leave us a staple flap. So it's just going to take all the fiberglass out, but leave the aluminum foil facer. So now what I do, I take off the staple flap the first. And sometimes there's a little bit of extra glass on this side. I like to remove that carefully. You always want to wear gloves when you're dealing with knives. You don't want to cut yourself because this stuff, these knives are sharp. And it doesn't take much to cut yourself. And yes, I speak from experience. And I speak from experience from cutting myself in front of people many years ago. but I try not to do that anymore. So now if we've done this correctly, these will all pop out nicely. And we are ready to put our piece of duct section together. To properly fasten this, we're going to staple this staple flap. That's going to be our mechanical fastening. And then we're going to use this tape to seal it. So we're going to put a nice airtight seal on this duct. This FSK facer acts as a vapor seal. We should have an airtight seal on this. If this is properly done, you shouldn't have the need to put any duct butter in these grooves. It should just go together very nicely. You're going to get a lot of noise absorption from the mat facing and from the fiberglass inside the duct. It's going to do a really nice job. This should be about 120 degrees in here when we staple this. It's going to allow this duct, when we bring it back, it'll be pretty square. I like to kind of line up the facers on the edge. Got my staple gun. Again, these are these 9/16 outward clinching staples, so they're crowned. You know, I get a lot of questions about, well, how many staples should I put in there? You know, it doesn't really matter as long as you're putting them, somewhere 2 to 3 inches. Okay, so now that we've got that, it's pretty square, looks pretty good. Now we want to seal this up with some of this UL 181 pressure sensitive tape. So I like to start from the female edge and work towards the male edge. I've got the release paper on the bottom side. I try to keep everything kind of neat. If I work this way, I can keep an eye on things and make it look like a really nice job. Kind of start at one end. Got my squeegee. The idea with the tape is you want to have at least an inch of tape on either side of the seam. Really, the idea is you want to squeegee this on until you can see the pattern of the scrim through the tape. You squeegee that on enough, that tape should not go anywhere, and you should have a nice tight seal for your duct system here. So we've got this piece of duct fabricated and sealed up. Now we could turn this into a plenum by putting an end cap in on both ends and cutting some holes for flex duct to come off of this. We could insert a couple pieces, additional pieces, and run a trunk line with this. What we want to look for, though, is to see if there's any damage where we might have some air intrusion or leakage, and you know, I don't think we really do. We've got maybe a spot here. Let's just say that there was. Let's just say we had a nick there, some kind of a gouge maybe where something happened there, and we've got that broken the vapor barrier with a hole in it. Ductboard is very forgiving. It's easy to fix an issue like that. We can take a piece of tape and just slap it right over that spot. You want to try to keep an inch on either side of that. So actually, if I was fixing that, I would want to keep that kind of in the center there. If you have a puncture in the facing, that's how you fix it. You put a piece of tape over it and squeegee it on there, and that has fixed the facing issue. So we've inspected this piece. It looks pretty square. If you look down the duct, it looks pretty square. I don't see any issues with the inside facing. This piece is ready to install.